However, I want to talk about the issue of land use, and we cover it with fragmentation and degradation. And land in Kabale, well, most of the Uganda, land is a hot item. Yeah, and we want to see why is it a hot item. We've seen so many people who have cut their pieces of land. People are digging on terraces everywhere. People are digging, but I'll first of all ask. I'll probably ask the chairman. Nats, how is land generally acquired in Kabale?
One, there is buying of land.
Yes.
Two, there is inheritance. Those are the two major ways.
Buying and inheritance.
Buying and inheritance.
How does the inheritance work?
The inheritance works by the father giving it to son, giving it to wives if he has two or three. Then he acquires the land, and eventually you find that the land is redivided and redivided again among family members.
Right.
Which leads to less economic development, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I like where we are going. Divided
and redivided.
And redivided and redivided. Why are you redividing all this land?
There is a population explosion in Kabale. In fact, Kigezi region. So that's why we have the redividing of the land.
Urashangwina akabira kache?
Akabira kache. Kandi onenda ukadividing abantu bintu. Wendabo jonka mushanju. Maybe your grandfather or your father left you with a piece of land, and you have to divide that piece of land into 7 parts so that each boy gets. So even that boy, if he produces, he also redivides. Right. That even the other one that produces will divide. So eventually you find that someone has like a handful of land.
What other reasons are there for this
people to
dividing land?
There is also an issue for new people coming. Already we have scarcity of land. Yes. Then you have people living other areas. Chisoro, Kanungu coming to Kabale. And in Rwanda, people actually, I got Muhindi, is buying land around and bringing family members from India.
Really?
Yes. They are doing well here. So you can see the little land which we have, other people are coming on, and we are chopping on the small pieces we have.
Right. Yep.
Yes. And what we need to know is that economically, Kabale, they are not. You see, we all have Irish potato, which is Irish potato, and sometimes beans, but mainly Irish potato. So,
yes.
You know, school fees nowadays it's very expensive. So people sell land in order to put their kids to school. And eventually you find that even by the time the kid finishes Makerere, the land is gone. So that's the way.
mbenu akataka kariho orabo takahinjire mbenu bakahinge jo mirundi yo arakaguza kugira ngo abone
umwana mutware.
You look at this. Now this woman is saying that people are digging in swamps. Do we now encourage this? Now this goes for these Nema people to come up and help us. The climate in Kabale is changing terribly.
It's forcing you to dig in the swamps.
For sure. If you see people, these farms you see around, these used to be swamps. But now people are digging there, planting their Irish potatoes. So what should we do?
We talked to Adios Chomukama, he's the Natural Resources Officer. Let's first take a look at what he says. When we come back, we'll break down these things. The effect on food security. You'll tell us more on the environment and, of course, migration. Because we've been told also people living in Kabale, like the Bafuruchi. The Kasimiles are in Bunyoro, they left because of what's happening. Let's take a look, and when we come back, we'll be talking about this on the show. Take a look.
In the past, we used to have consolidated because our foreparents had enough land. But because of producing overpopulation, they had to subdivide to accommodate the sons and the grandsons. And our land tenure was majorly and is still majorly customary. We don't, it is only freehold which is in some urban areas and some few peri-urban, but majorly it is customary. Population density became so high, and you remember that we used to have even wetlands, which had to be encroached on to accommodate the population which was growing. We, as the Natural Resources Department, we try to increase the productivity of each and everybody's parcel of land. We try them to, if you have a small piece of land, we show you how you should dig, how you should add your manure, and the little land you have becomes productive. But majorly the district had come up with that consolidation which failed to be implemented. With land fragmentation, you know, it is hereditary. A father divides the land to his children. Now, if a child doesn't do, is not all that he sort of rich, he sells to somebody else. Now this somebody else comes and joins the other family land. And so if there is, if he wants to do any other development, he doesn't need to consult with these other people. So the cooperation is not there. And each and everyone does his own thing. You find one has planted a tree here, another one is doing agriculture, another one has some cattle there. So in the case of there is a problem, these people don't come together to see a challenge. A neighbor may decide to do terracing, another one doesn't do it. So when a landslide comes, it destroys the whole area. So bring those people together and seeing it as a problem is still a challenge. And if you visit around also our hills here, you will see that challenge there. We have tried to bring them on board, but a neighbor does this, another one doesn't do it.
Adios Chomukama, he's the Natural Resources Officer. He raises very good points.
Yeah.
Reactions to this?
Like against the rugged terrain. When you go to highlands, you find lands are not cultivatable. So you find we only need raw lands, those lands which are on raw levels of altitude. So when we come down for them, you find everyone is eager to take part of it. So you find we are fighting for it. This one needs it, I need it, another one needs it. So we say, let's divide this, that's one everyone gets. Another day, school fees is also required. You sell it to another person, maybe Wakahabga. Then another time, you find a small piece of land is owned by different people. When you look at it, fragmentation is how to say it again.
Right.
During the colonial days, the Bachiga were forced to make terraces. And eventually they abandoned them. That's why there is heavy and soil degradation on the hill slopes. That is one. Two, conservativeness. The Bachiga are now don't want to change their former behaviors towards the modern farming.
Right.
NADS has come in, has taught people how modern farming works, but they are still conservative. They don't want to change their mindset.
Yes.
So that is another reason why people are failing to conserve the soil, why there is still too much land fragmentation, why there is low productivity.
How many meals are people having now? Because it makes me very worried.
For example, to me at my grandma's place, I went there on Sunday and I was like, I was so hungry and I wanted this viribwa ebitakuli
Byabikiraga kuba biriyo
kandi kiribwa kya kasano when kibonye sanje kunabaza najja mukaka kumpulira najja mwana wanje bizireko mashana ze kuleba kitoki nto nalesire bwawuni, so they don't still have these granaries in the village.
Right.
Yeah.
The
issue of meals. By the way, amakani mingi munonga kabale abaratunga miremu. I want to relate it to land fragmentation. Because of land fragmentation, a household will be having a piece of land at a certain area about 5 miles away from home, and that's where they are going to dig. So in the morning, there will be no time to prepare breakfast. Maybe a chitakuli which stayed overnight will stay for the children who will be at home. The mawolu. So during the day, no lunch.
Right.
Then they go to the gardens. They will stay there. They will come back at around 6 or 7. They will come with the vitakuli that they will prepare for supper. So virtually, there are only 2 meals.
Are we acknowledging that we have a problem of food security in Kabale?
Yeah, very big one. the little we are producing, actually we look at generating money from it. If I was down Kalenjere down there, people were loading our mound. You know, well, this road is going there, Tanzania, they were too. And the old poor woman was selling everything. Then I asked her, was Gazayo and Mondizokuri Yaokachi at Nienda fees Zavana, I have sold everything. So she's not even sure of the tomorrow's meal. Wow. She has sold everything. Right.
What are you doing to save the land? What are you going to do? We are seeing mudslides. Things are bad. What are you going to do?
Tulenda ngo habe enforcement yo kubinga abantu mu bifunjo. Baba heza kubabingamu. Turamanya ho kugenda nabo. Wati nuri kubagamba. Mabaraza ku ruhinga bararumaraho. Then ito turamanya okuturagiringe nabo okuturabegese kwinga ebyo bibungo bibaraja ngo tibicyari mu rwezo.
So according to you, the fact that they are digging in the swamps and no one is saying anything, they will keep doing it.
Why not?
Help me also for the person watching to understand the Bafuruchi migration.
From our analysis, we've seen that Kabare is highly populated, yes. And that's why even we are having a lot of land pressure and land fragmentation. I think what we needed to do and what we should do, we needed to try to sensitize our population, such that maybe they reduce they learn about the concept of family planning. They produce a small number of children, such that we reduce that pressure on the land.
But whether it is cold or hot, they should really.
Brian,
if they cannot really abstain, let them use condoms to.
Isn't family planning working? Why isn't family planning working?
No, for me, the problem here, the weather is too cold. And some people are jobless, and the men sometimes are alcoholic, and sometimes when you're alcoholic, the blood is flowing too fast.
You won.
Then I'm saying when he's getting home drunk, he feels like
remember about family planning.
I feel he cannot remember, and he's already active and he wants. So he just calls Muchala, you just
no, Brian, child production goes hand in hand with poverty. Nenda kubakaka sangu abantu baboro, the only thing ekibago kushemererwa is only that.
Brian, poverty
that you should have 15 kids.
No,
I want you to pause right now because I have to go for a break.
Doesn't mean that they should have money so that they can plan for what?
Yes, please hold on to that. I want to go for a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking more. Just maybe the first 3 minutes. Help me understand the Bafuruchi. The pressure on the land is too much in Kabare, and there will be a desert here if we are not careful very soon. Environmentalists have predicted that by 2050, if we don't do anything, Uganda will be a desert.